Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jeff and today I'm just doing a fun little sketch in my iPad session. I am back from my Christmas holiday break with my family and I don't really want to start work yet, but I want to do some drawing, and so I thought I would just do a little session, share it on here. I haven't really done a session like this as well, so it'll be a bit of a behind the scenes on how I just do some brainstorming in my sketchbook / on my iPad. So what I want to do today is play around with an idea that I came up with during my Peachtober video. I'll link it in the description below. I did this drawing and I think it was for, what one was it? Love or flirt or something. I can't quite remember which one it was. I probably should have looked that up. But I did this drawing and I really loved that the person is like coming out of this porthole, which like portholes and doorways are things I always love. And I just love the general vibe of it, the cartoon nature of the cheeks, the stylistic kind of approach of illustrating I really enjoyed. So what I decided to do was to play around with that a little bit more. And the other day I sat down and I started to draw more parts of a body coming out of portholes. And I did this sketch and I really liked it. And in particular, I really liked the face, the nose and eyebrow shaping. I really enjoyed. This hair was great. And just in general, the way that I'm starting to draw these figures are really feeling comfortable and feel really exciting. I have in the past few weeks as well been really focusing on drawing figures and human forms, and so I'm really starting to evolve a really nice language for how I draw people. So once I did this, I went off and I evolved it a little bit more, and I made this really cool other person, and then I moved on to doing some sort of hand shapes. And at this point I decided it's something that I definitely want to explore more. So that's what I thought I would share today, is that just show you how I explore an idea and just show you some of my process. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do as sort of like a wobbly shape, a bit like a broccoli. The noses, so I'm really enjoying doing these wiggly, really 3 on an angle kind of noses. It's helping me to stick to the style that I really want to work on. So for some reason, there's always something that when I'm drawing, it's sort of like the entry point into making sure that I stay free and loose. For a long time, it was drawing shoes. Shoes were something where I would go really abstract and loose and playful with the different shapes and exaggerate everything. And when I started to realize that that was a really good entry point, I wanted to just work on other ways that I could create good entry points into drawing sessions. And the noses at the moment for me are something that are becoming a clear way that I can jump back into my style and not be too precious about being realistic, I guess. Mouths and teeth, I'm starting to learn that just doing 6 teeth is a really nice middle ground between realism and cartoon, and I'm also just like really enjoying that part of it. Sometimes doing these extra lips, I feel like they maybe make them a little bit more monstery and less human, but it's allows me to have some variation in the style, the figures themselves. I'm just going to bring that down. No, just a little bit, but not too much. Hair and ears. I feel like earrings are another way that I'm really able to bring in my style, because you know, I could put on, have them wear, you know, one of the earrings that I wear, that I make. And then if I play with this shape a bit more. That extra ring allows you to ground the hole on the plane, I think, that otherwise without it, I don't know, it just feels like it's just floating in air. And I'm also starting to get used to the variation in the brushes that I use. Since Peachtober, something that I've really enjoyed is moving into more pixel-based illustrations, and it's like loosened me up a whole bunch more, and so I'm just I've been able to get a really good understanding of what I'm enjoying for the pixel brushes and the widths that I like to use and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's all kind of working well for me at the moment, which is really nice. I've just been doing the Perfect Pencil 2 as like, it's more of like a sketchy one, but it's still a bit more of like a nice clean line. Okay. I'm going to try and do someone with longer hair now. So I've got a screen opened that I'm just looking at for hairstyles, which I think I'll probably end up putting on the screen here as well. Maybe that could be cool. So if I kind of play with the basic structure first. I'm not always great at knowing how to do movement and hairstyles, I guess. So this is helping me get better at that. Cool. All right, so we'll minimize that. I'm gonna go quite big with these. Really exaggerate the volume of the hair. Just some really thick eyebrows. And recently I did some drawings where I was playing around with my eyes as well and trying to rework what they look like. And you'll notice in these, I'm starting to do these little extra little nib bits on the beginning and the end of the eyes. And this is something that I'll put the drawing up here as well. And it's a new thing that I'm really loving, that's evolving the stylistic eye that I do. And yeah, so that's another little bit that's fresh. This kind of makes her look like she's crying, but that's okay. Maybe I'll give her eyelashes. I don't need that anymore. And I kind of want to give her a necklace or a collar. And maybe writes a T in it. Merge that down. Cool. Okay, I'm going to do the shape first. Maybe I'll do some cheek creases, but no. And a big mo. He looks very unhappy and unimpressed at this point. Don't know how I'm gonna do the mouth, so I'm gonna leave that for now and do a big ear. Okay, maybe a big full hair isn't what I need to do. Maybe I'll make this like an older person. cute rainbow old hair. Wispy hair. Not sure about that. Keep going. If I just did a bottom lip, maybe? Yeah. Maybe a big wide mouth. Yeah, that'll do for now. That could be like a beard. That whole section. And I would probably do the eyebrows as some kind of texture as well. Cool. Maybe like a kid with some arms coming out. I could really play around with this border being whatever pattern I wanted it to be. Really over-exaggerated mouth, massive tongue, big teeth. Small nose. Big eyes. Let's do, no. Which hand? It's that hand, is the thumb. So it's, and that hand is that thumb. I kind of like this one. Let's do a fun shirt. And I'm gonna make it really absurd and put like a flower coming out of their head. top. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here as just a really quick little session. I really like what I'm coming up with. If I was going to explore some new things, I would 100% explore this hair more as like a texture of way to do volume. I definitely like the elongated neck. So I might do some really long necked people. I really like this cheek situation and being able to section off the face into different parts. So I think that could be another drawing exercise that could be really great. I like this idea of figures with things attached to the head. It could be like stars and hearts. It could be another eye. It could be another body on top of them. That could be really cool. And this other one was, I guess, just the warm-up. Maybe I'll attach some things at the end of more like refined illustrations that I've done from this now that I'm going to end this part of the process. Hello again, so I'm back. And yes, I went away and I did some more drawings, and I thought I would just really quickly share where I have taken these original concepts, because I've had quite a few final artworks that have sort of come out of it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first one was that portrait of like the longer neck that I wanted to explore. So this first one, I really like. He looks like a bit of an emu, not gonna lie. He looks a little bit like an emu. I really like the hair texture. I really like the sort of smirk on him and like the cheeks. So I think that's a really nice one. This second one is really cool as well. I like the hair clips. I think I'll really want to do more hair clip things. And I really like the thick girthiness of the neck as well. I can really see pushing this into being maybe something where I play with the necks being more absurd, like long, bendy, kind of like pipes almost, or like writing something with it. I did trial something similar to that with this third one, and I just don't like it at all. I don't like the hair, I don't like the face, I don't mind the watches. Like, I like the idea of the watches as a concept and having a whole bunch of like maybe necklaces and things going up the neck if I do it. But yeah, I just don't like the bends. I just wasn't my favorite. But for this sort of longer necked approach, I think the first two, the emu kind of looking head and these longer, more absurd necks, are going to be something that I want to do more of. The next was the little boy figure with the flower coming out of the head. I went off on a completely different tangent and I ended up drawing this more symbolic Mother Nature figure kind of character. Yeah, it's kind of not connected at all, but I really like the way that it's starting. And yeah, so that was just like moving that one on a little bit more. And the third one was the beards and doing facial hair. This one was a big win in my eyes. So for this first one, I really played around with the different textures of the hair and the beard. I really love the way that I've done these love heart eyes. This is something that I'm really enjoying a lot. It's adding a lot more emotion and liveliness to the characters. And then I went on and I did a second one and I played around with the expressions. So the love heart eyes with the sad face kind of just brings another whole kind of feel to it. Again, playing around with the beard and these sort of like cheek jaw lines. I think that's something that's fun, and yeah, I really like the way that these are turning out. It's definitely a lot more masculine in terms of its general sort of style than I really don't get to do much. Not that I don't get to do, it's just that my style is, I guess, a little bit more like feminine, queer, and my audience is a lot more like skewed towards females as well. So I think this could be kind of fun, this could be kind of fun to really explore more like illustrations that could be exciting and of interest to my male audience. And so then I went and spent the night doing a whole bunch of drawing instead of getting into the reality of work again after New Year's. And so I did this one of the beard, and yeah, I'm just really excited and loving it. I love that I've now added the colour and the starry background. It's just really fun and playful, and I want to explore it a whole bunch more. So then I wanted to go off and do a more graphic outlined rendering of a bearded figure. So I went off and I did this other farmer person, and it's cool to see the two different styles of like outline and no outline, and how one's obviously a little bit more softer than the other. With the farmer, I wanted to play around more with shadowing and textures as well, and I'm just really loving everything that's here with that. The facial features are really cute and fun. The beard being in a more sort of rectangle bobble corner edge kind of feel is also great. I think something that's really important when doing illustrations is to like find your point of difference. So then if someone looks at your work, they can go, oh, that's a Jeff thing. And for me, for a long time, it was the eye motif. And so I want to try and create a way of doing a beard that is going to be like my signifying beard. And maybe this is the start of it, who knows. Yeah, so that's those. And I think I might also just throw up here as well, I went off and did a more complete illustration of the original inspiration artwork from the Peachtober, the flirty face. Really love the textures. I love how much my illustrative style has evolved since doing Peachtober. And I'm probably going to go off and make the love hearts maybe like animated a bit, and maybe have the text bounce around. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm probably going to turn these into maybe some cards or some stickers, something like that. But yeah, so that's the end of the video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed putting this one together. I definitely want to do more of these because it's just so much more playful and experimental, and is giving me really great inspiration for how to keep on expanding my work, and hopefully that inspires you in some way. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the episode, if you have a particular favorite artwork. Yeah, or just like say hello in general, and I will see you in the next one. Love you all. Bye.